You did nothing wrong, but now you're sitting in pain because someone else got behind the wheel of a car drunk. And as angry as you are, you're also stuck wondering how you're supposed to pay for the damage they caused. I'm Tim Miley, and I've spent over 25 years helping victims of drunk driving crashes all across West Virginia, and there are legal options most people don't realize they have. In this video, I'll explain exactly what you can do after getting hit by a drunk driver and how to hold them fully accountable for the harm they caused to you, so that you're not left with medical bills, missed paychecks, and a wrecked car while the person who hit you walks away with a slap on the wrist. Number 1, make sure you and everyone else is safe. If you've just been hit by a drunk driver in West Virginia, your first priority is safety. Now, I know your mind might be racing, you might be in a state of shock, and you might even be angry, but the very first thing you should do is check yourself and any passengers in your car for injuries. If you're able to move, get to a safe location, like the side of the road or a sidewalk, but away from any traffic or hazards. If anyone is hurt, call 911 immediately. Now, if you're not able to call, ask someone nearby to do it for you. Even if injuries seem minor, call anyway. I can't stress this enough. Some injuries, especially head or internal injuries, might not show up right away. The sooner you get medical attention, the better for your health and your legal case. Once you're safe, try to stay calm. The scene after a drunk driving accident can be chaotic, but keeping a clear head helps you protect yourself both physically and legally. Number 2, call the police. Don't skip this step. Now, you absolutely need to get law enforcement involved when a drunk driver is involved in your crash. In West Virginia, it's the law to report accidents involving injury, death, or property damage, but with a suspected drunk driver, this isn't just a box to check. It's critical evidence for your case. Tell the dispatcher what happened and mention that you believe the other driver is under the influence of alcohol. Police officers are trained to spot the signs of drunk driving, and their accident report will include their observations and the results of any roadside sobriety tests or breathalyzer tests they perform on the other driver. These details are key. The accident report becomes a cornerstone of your insurance claim or any lawsuit that might follow. If the other driver gets arrested for DUI, that only strengthens your case even more. A quick story. I worked with a client from Fairmont who was sideswiped by a drunk driver late at night. Now, at first, they were shaken up and wanted to just go home. Thankfully, they called the police, and when officers arrived, they found open beer cans in the other car and arrested the driver on the spot. If my client had skipped that call, proving what really happened would have been much more difficult. So don't let anyone talk you out of calling the police, not even the other driver. It protects you, your rights, and your ability to get compensation. Number 3, gather evidence right at the scene. Now, if you're able and it's safe, start documenting everything as soon as possible. This might feel a bit overwhelming in the moment, but your phone is your best tool. Be sure to take photos and videos of the following: the vehicles, including all damage from different angles; the accident scene, including skid marks, broken glass, road signs, and various landmarks; license plates, registration, and inspection stickers; the other driver, if you can do it discreetly, especially if they're acting drunk; pictures of any alcohol containers or drug paraphernalia in or near their vehicle; pictures of your injuries, even if they seem minor. Now, if there are witnesses, make sure you ask for their names and contact information. Eyewitnesses can describe things you might have missed, like if the other driver was swerving, running red lights, or stumbling when they got out of their car. Make sure you write down your own memory of what happened as soon as you can while it's still fresh. Make sure to include things like how the other driver was acting, what they said, and any smells of alcohol or slurred speech. Those details could become very, very important for your case. One client of ours from Morgantown used their phone to record the other driver slurring their words and struggling to stand. That video was a turning point in their case and led to a fast settlement. Number 4, get medical attention even if you feel okay. Now, after an accident with a drunk driver, adrenaline can mask pain or injuries. You might feel fine in the moment, but symptoms can show up hours or days later. You need to see a doctor as soon as possible, even for minor aches or symptoms like dizziness, headaches, or bruising. Let the doctor know exactly what happened, that you were hit by a suspected drunk driver. Make sure everything is documented in your medical records. This creates a clear timeline that links your injuries directly to the accident, which is incredibly important for any insurance claim or lawsuit. If you wait too long to get care, insurance companies might argue that you weren't really hurt or that your injuries came from something else. Don't give them that chance. Let me give you a real-life example. A big client of mine felt fine the day of the crash, but developed neck pain and headaches 2 days later. Because they went to the ER right away, the crash was clearly listed in their medical records, making it easier to prove their injuries were from the accident and not from something that happened later. Number 5. Don't talk directly to the other driver's insurance company. After you've called the police, gathered your evidence, and gotten medical care, you'll probably get a call from the drunk driver's insurance company. Sometimes they'll call you within a day or two, but they'll sound friendly. But remember, their job is to protect their own bottom line, not to look out for you. You don't have to give them a statement, and you don't have to answer their questions right away. In fact, you shouldn't. Anything you say could be twisted or used against you to deny your claim or reduce your compensation. In West Virginia, you have the right to talk to a lawyer before talking to any insurance company. This is especially important with drunk driving cases because you may be able to recover not just standard damages like medical bills and lost wages, but also what's called punitive damages. Now, punitive damages are extra money meant to punish especially bad behavior like driving your car while drunk. We once had a case in Huntington where the other driver's insurance adjuster tried to get our client to say they felt okay after the crash. That one comment could have been used to completely downplay their injuries. Always remember, you're not required to talk to them alone. Number 6, understand what compensation you might be entitled to. When you're hit by a drunk driver in West Virginia, the law is on your side, and that's because you should never have to pay out of pocket for someone else's reckless behavior. There are several types of compensation you might be eligible for, including medical bills, including future treatment or surgeries, lost wages if you have work to miss, pain and suffering, both physical and emotional, property damage, like your car or belongings inside it, and punitive damages if the driver was especially reckless. West Virginia is known for allowing punitive damages in drunk driving cases to send a message that this behavior won't be tolerated. That can mean a larger settlement or verdict for you on top of your regular compensation from the accident. Here's what this looks like in real life. We helped the family in Wheeling after a drunk driver hit their SUV at an intersection. Not only did they get all their medical and car repair bills covered, but the court also ordered the drunk driver to pay punitive damages due to their extremely high blood alcohol content. That extra amount made a big difference in helping them recover and move forward with their lives. Remember, every case is unique. The sooner you reach out for help, the sooner an attorney can start fighting for everything you are owed. Number 7, West Virginia's modified comparative fault rule. Now, one important thing to know, West Virginia follows what's called a modified comparative fault rule. What this means is that if you're partly to blame for the accident, your damages can be reduced by your percentage of fault, but only if you're less than 50% at fault can you still recover. If you're over 50%, you can't recover. Now, the insurance company might try to argue you were partly responsible, even if the other driver was drunk. Now, let's say, for example, you were hit by a drunk driver, but they claim you were speeding or not wearing your seatbelt. An experienced attorney like myself can help keep the focus where it belongs, on the drunk driver's actions, and fight to minimize any blame they try to put on you. Number 8, why working with a West Virginia personal injury lawyer makes a difference. Drunk driving cases are serious, and the laws in West Virginia are strict for a reason. But going up against an insurance company, especially when you're hurt, can seem overwhelming. A local attorney knows the ins and outs of West Virginia law and can gather the right evidence, negotiate with insurance companies, and take your case to court if needed. The insurance company has lawyers on their side, and you deserve someone in your corner also. At our firm, we handle all communication with the insurance company. We line up expert witnesses if needed and make sure every deadline is met. We work on a contingency fee system, which means you pay nothing unless we win your case. Number 9. What about criminal charges against the drunk driver? If the other driver is arrested for DUI, that's a separate criminal case. The state will decide on charges and penalties like fines or jail time, but the criminal case doesn't pay your medical bills or lost wages. That's where your personal injury claim or lawsuit comes in. Even if the other driver is found not guilty in criminal court, you can still win your civil case if the evidence is strong. Number 10, take action as soon as possible. Finally, don't wait too long. In West Virginia, you usually have 2 years from the date of the accident to file a personal injury lawsuit. But the sooner you act, the fresher the evidence and the stronger your case. What can you do if you are hit by a drunk driver? Let me give you a quick recap. We covered the key steps: making sure you're safe, calling the police, gathering evidence, getting medical care, protecting yourself from insurance companies, and understanding your rights to compensation. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. A local West Virginia attorney can help you every step of the way. If you want to protect yourself even further, don't miss our next video, It's called How to Answer an Insurance Adjuster's Questions After a Car Accident. It's packed with tips that can help you avoid mistakes and get every dollar you deserve after a crash. Click through now. This is information you don't want to miss if you want to protect your rights. See you over there.